again, everybody. So, I'm going to do another video today. This one's going to be pretty interesting. So, what is consciousness? Okay? What makes us us? What makes you and I different from a flower or a tree? Okay? Consciousness is all of you. It's every atom within you. It's all the string and everything that's within you, within plants, within the earth, moons, stars, black holes. Everything. That is consciousness. Okay, so people wonder, well, what happens when you die? Well, I can't tell you that for sure, but I can tell you that every atom within you is your consciousness. Okay? Whenever you touch your fingernail to fingernail, you can feel that. You know, your finger to finger, you can feel it. You can feel yourself touching your toe to your toe. All of you is consciousness. Every single atom within you, all the string within you is consciousness. Okay? So, after you die, basically your string is basically strung together with other string. Okay, so bacteria will start decomposing your body. Larvae will start helping to decompose your body. Then that DNA will be ingested by other DNA, such as the dirt and the plants. And then that DNA will be ingested by other DNA, like the animals ingest that, and then the animals ingest them, and then animals ingest them. You know, it's a continuing process of the infinitely growing string. Okay? So it's a really beautiful thing, you know? If the universe is infinite, which I predict it to be, that means that you, me, everything, it's all infinite. It's a beautiful thing. So, yeah, just the continuously growing string, you know, oscillating at nothing to infinity, moving at the speed of light, you know. It's a beautiful thing. So, let me explain to you kind of how the string is. Because all DNA is the string. It's just basically the string being recombined from every which direction. Okay? So, you can compare. Okay, so you have a sperm and an egg. Okay? The sperm basically gets into the egg, and that creates more life. Okay? So the thing that's interesting about it is the earth can be compared to the egg. Okay? So basically, a tree is growing from the earth, which is the egg. The string releases seeds that go back to the earth, and some of those seeds, not many of them, but some of them, just like a sperm, basically go back to the earth. They go back to the dirt, back to the ground. They combine with the nutrients in the ground, which is the string. They combine with the water, which is the string. They begin to combine with the string that's coming from the sun, they all start to combine, and they start to grow more string. And another tree grows out. And that's how the string keeps infinitely growing on the earth. Okay? Everything in the universe is universal. Okay? I'm going to explain that to you. And I know a lot of people might have a hard time wrapping their head around it, but it's true. Once you get to the fundamental level of the string, it is such a beautiful thing. So everything is basically gravitational and magnetic waves. Okay? Everything is pretty much magnets. Even us as human beings are magnets. Okay? If you really think about it. You know? I mean, how often in your life do you actually have sex with someone? And more than that, how often in your life do you actually are you actually inseminated or inseminate someone else to make a baby, to make more life? It's not very common. That's all human beings are. That's all animals are. That's all we are, is just magnets for the most part. For the most part, most of the time, we repel each other. But once in a while, we come together and we make more string. You know, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, that's pretty much all it is an accumulation of gravitational waves, which, okay, so you have E equals mc squared. Okay, so energy is basically magnetic waves. Mass is basically gravitational waves, all limited by the speed of light. Okay? I mean, it's a very beautiful thing. So that's all it pretty much is. I mean, it's all just love. You know, it's magnetic waves or energy, gravitational waves or mass, limited by the speed of light. You know, everything is basically just making love together. You know, the tree dropping the seeds can be compared to sperm going back to the egg of the earth and regrowing more life. You know, it's pretty universal for everything. You know, with us, we have the sperm that, you know, a male puts into a female. You know, a male could be compared to a north pole of a magnet, and a female could be compared to a south pole of a magnet, and I'm basing that off of, you know, a man's erection and a woman's vagina. So, you know, and basically whenever those two poles come together, more string is made, more life is made. You know, it's a beautiful thing. It's all just love whenever you really think about it. So the Chinese had something. Chinese philosophers had something they called invisible forces. Okay, so invisible forces were basically philosophical ideas of, there were a lot of forces that were in play in the universe that you couldn't actually see. So I invented this toy. It's called the Magnitus, and you can actually see the invisible forces. Okay? So you have a levitating magnet, and basically you have a magnet on the outside, and you can manipulate the magnet using more or less the invisible forces. Okay? It's a very beautiful thing. You know, and the coolest thing about it is if I was to put my hand between these magnets, I would put them between the magnets and I would feel nothing. That's how thin the string is. You can basically just move your molecules through the string and it won't even touch it. That's how small the string is. I mean, it's in this gratis, it's ridiculously small, you know. So if you want to buy that toy, you can. It's on magnitistoys.com, MAGNITIS toys.com, or you can go to my GoFundMe page, Magnitis Toys, and contribute if you like. If not, that's fine. So, yeah, the invisible forces, deals with like the ideals of like feng shui, different things like that. Like for instance, in feng shui, they understood that so the Earth is rotating this way, and it's rotating. I don't know which way it's rotating, but anyway, it's rotating. East and west. And so basically, if you align yourself with north and south, because you're always facing perpendicular to the earth and the sun, so whenever you're lying down, that's the only time that you're parallel to them. So they kind of figured out that, if you face north and south, whenever you're sleeping, or your head faces north, that's actually kind of a way to deal with the invisible forces. Anyway, it's an interesting ideal. Interesting ideal, but, kind of pseudoscientific, but if you really account for the string, that kind of is an invisible force, because the string is everything, it's everything. Some of this stuff you might have to refer to my other videos on my YouTube channel, it's Stephen Porter, but, yeah, it's just, everything is a string, it's basically oscillating from nothing to infinity, which, if you really think about it, is the same thing. It's all just a big loop. But, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, you can see the string at different oscillations, wherever it's within the spectrum of light, but the string on the rest of the electromagnetic spectrum and the infinitely oscillating gravitation magnetic waves you can't see. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, so what is the difference between entropy and time? Okay, so whenever the string comes together, okay, all black holes is an accumulation of the string. Okay, love waves, time waves, and radio waves, okay? I'm thinking about not calling them time waves anymore because it's kind of confusing, but they're more or less entropy waves. Time doesn't really come into play until life is created, okay? Time only applies to life. Entropy applies to life and everything else, okay? That's how, planets, moons, stars, black holes, all that stuff can infinitely exist, and time and life basically has a limit. Okay, so until basically you'd have to refer to my other video, but until an electron, proton, and neutron all come into play, the string cannot properly combine to create life. So that's the difference between entropy and time. But all DNA is basically an accumulation of the string. It's just the string basically combining from different ways. Like for instance me. My string right now is combining with the air within my lungs. The string is, connecting with the oxygen that I'm bringing in, as well as the light waves, the ultraviolet waves, the infrared waves that are coming from the sun. All the string is combining, and it's combining to make DNA. That's all DNA is a combination of the string. So, it's pretty deep. It's a very deep thing to think about, but it's beautiful once you get to it, and I'll get farther into that. So, let's have a little bit of fun with some math, okay? Oh, the entropy waves, I didn't explain before, so, you know, you can refer to my other videos, but whenever two black holes come together, that's whenever entropy is created, okay? Whenever they both come together, that's whenever entropy first creates and the stream shoots out. And then from there, neutrons are created, protons are created, okay? So, and if you watch my earlier video, you'll see that electrons are the same thing as black holes, protons are the same thing as stars, and neutrons are the same thing as planets, moons, and asteroids, okay? And I know that's hard for people to wrap their head around, but that's the way it is. It's the loop. It's just a big loop. And I know it's trippy, but it's the way it is. Okay? Theoretically. Okay. So, let's have some fun with some math. Okay? So, here you see the square roots of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? And they are the numbers up to the hundredths place. Okay? So let's have some fun with these and see what we can do. So what is the difference between 1 and 1.41? Well, that's 4.41. What's the difference between 4.1 and 7.3? That's 32. 7.3 and 0 is 27. 0 and 23 is 23. 23 and 44 is 21. 44 and 64 is 20. 64 and 82 is 18. 82 and 0 is 18. Or wait a second, am I screwing up here? 23, 20, 18, yeah, 18. And 0 and 16 is 16. So, what is the difference between 41 and 32? 41 and 32 is 9. 32 and 27 is 5. 27 and 23 is 4. 23 and 21 is 2. 1 and 0 is 1. 0 and 8 is 8. 8 and 8 is 0. 8 and 16 is 2. Okay? So, the difference between 9 and 5 is 4. The difference between 5 and 4 is 1. The difference between 4 and 2 is 2. 2 and 1 is 1. 1 and 8 somewhere I messed up. 21, 20, 18, 18, 16, 21. Oh, no. Difference between 0 and 8 is 2. Okay? So, the difference between 4 and 1 is 3. 1 and 2 is 1. Or, I need to go back here. 1 and 2 is 1. 2 and 0 is 2. 0 and 2 is 2. Okay? The difference between 2 and 1 is 1. 1 and 1 is 0. 1 and 2 is 1. 2 and 2 is 0. Okay? The difference between 3 and 1 is 2. 1 and 1, 0. 1 and 0, 1. 0 and 1, 1. 1 and 0, 1. The difference between 1 and 1 is 0. 1 and 1 is 0. 1 and 0 is 1. 0 and 2 is 2. 2 and 1 is 1. 1 and 0 is 1. 0 and 0 is 0. 0 and 1 is 1. 1 and 1 is 0. 0 and 1 is 1. Okay? So, as you can see, playing with basic math and square roots, referring to my other videos, what does that look like to you? Well, Well, I'll tell you what it looks like to me. It looks to me like the gradiuses of space. A black hole is 0 until it gets up to infinity, where it starts back over at 0 again, which is the loop. It's the infinite loop. Nothing is equal to infinity. Okay? So, you basically have this, and then you connect them. Black hole, black hole, black hole, black hole, black hole, black hole, black hole. And that's all it is. Those are the gradiuses of space. And this basically shows it with basic math. Okay? Everything, once you get to the point of science, math, spirituality, once you get to the fundamental level of the string, you start to realize it's all connected. It's all one. Okay? And it's a beautiful thing. Okay? So, those are basically the gradiuses, and that's how to show it. Going from basically nothing, and then you go to 1, and then it goes all the way up to infinity, and then it starts over again at 0. Okay? Alright, so that's math, gradiuses, science, math, spirituality. Okay, so what exactly is space? Okay? Everything is the string. Okay? So you have electrons, which are basically love, time, radio waves. Basically, the string just combining, coming together, oscillating until they get to the level where they're oscillating from nothing to infinity, causing gravitational waves and magnetic waves to bring into play a sphere. Okay? And then you have neutrons, which are love, time, radio waves, microwaves, infrared, and light waves. Okay? And then you have protons, which are all those waves, plus ultraviolet, X-ray, and gamma wave, gamma waves. Okay? So basically, all space is the gravitational and magnetic waves. Okay? That's all it basically is. Okay? So this is one of the ways that I know, or that I theorize, that the universe is infinite. Okay? These are 3 simple examples of why I think the universe is infinite. Okay? Colors. Once you delve far into the color spectrum, the colors are infinite. They don't stop. There'll just be more and more colors the farther you delve into the color spectrum. It's infinite. Another thing is pi. Pi, 3.14. It'll just keep going on infinitely. It's an infinite number. Okay? And all a circle is a polygon. Okay? All a circle is a polygon with infinite corners. That's all it is. It's a polygon with infinite corners. Okay? So those are 3 simple reasons, and I could delve further into it, but those are 3 simple reasons that I think the universe is infinite. Okay? That doesn't mean galaxies are infinite, okay? And I'll get into that in a minute. But I think the universe as a whole is infinite. It's an ever-continuing loop, okay? So, I'll show you, before I go, I'll show you something that I think is pretty beautiful. Okay, so you have a black hole here, okay, and a black hole here. Then you have stars outside of the black hole and the galaxies. And they are pulling in their solar systems. Okay? So, the black holes are pulling everything in within their galaxies, which is dark matter. That's gravity. But they're repelling each other, pushing each other away, which are magnetic waves. Okay? So, the black holes are pulling everything in. The stars are pulling everything in. The planets are pulling everything in. Okay? But they're also, at the same time, while everything's being pulled in, it's infinitely being pushed out. Like the sun pushing out the string, which are the light rays that you see, and all the other waves that it's pushing out. It's the earth is pushing out the string, which is us, the plants, the animals, the atmosphere, the water, everything. It's beautiful. So while it's being pulled in, it's also being pushed out. Okay? But the real thing is, what do these look like to you? They look like flowers. That's all galaxies are, is blooming flowers. Right now, you're part of a blooming flower. And remember that the next time you're looking at space images of galaxies, you're going to be like, wow, that does look like a blooming flower. That's beautiful. And someday, most likely, that flower is going to bloom, and then it's going to wilt away. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to think about. So I wanted to talk about real quick the universe and how the universe is infinite. Okay, because at this point in time, scientists think the universe is something like 13.7 billion years old or something like that. Now, my issue with that is that the way that they figure out how old the universe is they see that it's expanding at an accelerated rate, so they can account for how fast it's expanding, how long it's been expanding for, and reverse that, and go back to the Big Bang. Okay? My only issue with that is if the universe is infinite, that means the observable universe that we're seeing, like say you have a neutron, and you put a little satellite outside of the neutron and orbit it, okay? You're not going to be able to see very far. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have a very limited distance that you can see. So if the universe is infinite, and you can only see an area that's this big in a universe that's this big, those calculations don't account for much. Okay? So I do predict whenever the James Webb Space Telescope comes out, if it works, hopefully it works, they're going to see the universe and they're going to be like, whoa, it's a whole lot bigger than we thought it was. You know what I mean? So because, yeah, that's the thing about it is I theorize that it's infinite. It's all infinite. Everything's infinite. You're infinite. Okay? And it's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? I don't know what exactly happens when you die, but I can tell you for sure that your energy moves on. You know? Energy and mass, they're the same thing. They're equal. Just in different states. Energy is magnetic waves. Mass is gravitational waves. And that's all it is. It's beautiful. We're basically just in a garden of blooming flowers. And that's a beautiful thing to think about. Alright, well thanks for watching this video. I appreciate it. Like I said, if you need to, refer to my other videos. But thanks for watching. I appreciate it.